Okay, everybody, welcome to a cryptocurrency quiz. You can join in at kahoot.it with the game pin 3755347. We'll be starting in just a few minutes once we get everyone here. Sorry for starting about 2 minutes late. I left a little bit later than I was expecting to from work. So we are getting started again just a few minutes here. All right, we have our first player. Thank you so much for joining us, Aratana, aka your dad. Thank you for joining. All right, welcome, Rekt. If I'm pronouncing that one correctly, Rekt. I tried. We have 6 concurrent viewers, so of course you can join in at kahoot.it with the game pin 3755347. Yo mom also joining. This is a quick reminder that if you want recognition on the subreddit, because tonight I actually am going through seeing who won in the past, you can join with your Reddit username in this game, and if you are a finalist or a winner, you will get special flair recognition on the subreddit. It'll say how many times you were a finalist or how many times you won. So it'll serve as credentials that you have at least some understanding that you're that you are at least paying attention to recent news in relation to cryptocurrency, some dedication while you are on the sub. So it's our way of saying thank you for participating. Some little credit here. Got the Ips35 is back. You all watch out. Thank you everyone who's joining us right now. We'll give it, like I said, just a minute or so here to give people the last chance to join, and then we will get started. This week we had no submissions from other users for other questions, so all 15 questions in this quiz this week are from me. So, if anyone to blame, it's all on me. But of course, if you would like to help get an edge over other players, you can submit really good questions ahead of time. If I use them, which I have used so far, every single question that is submitted, because the 2 that have been submitted are very good, then you are... you're at an advantage because you know what they are at a time. All right, it looks like we have 5 players. Oh goodness, someone really spammed us. We'll have to see who of these are real players. 85 players. What a good turnout. All right, so I think that's our cue to get started here. Here we go with 85 players. You all have your work cut out for yourselves this week. And then, of course, remember that I am paying attention to the chat in YouTube, unlike last week. So if you have any questions, comments, please leave them there. I will be able to review them as you're playing. Okay, so let's get started. 15 questions, of course. Question 1. Which type of value transfer is the largest for Ethereum? It recently switched. Is it ETH, stablecoins, games, or platforms? This is in terms of the most amount of value transferred on the blockchain. And I'm seeing about a 5-second delay, just so you know. I'm on ultra low latency, but you know, answer quickly where you can. You also get more points if you answer quickly and multiple in a row. All right, so 20 of you got that correct. I don't know if these are 20 humans or not, but we will see. Humans top the leaderboards here. We have some fake names on here that all answered immediately and guessed correctly. So we'll have to wait until the next round to see sort of shakeouts of what humans presumably are doing better than random chance. Okay, let's see what's happening in the next question here. Question 2. What exchange recently faced criticism for halting a transaction associated with Wasabi? Is it Wobi, Kraken, Paxos, or Coinbase? Okay, Paxos is the correct answer. Most of the bots guessed Kraken, but we shall see if humans are sort of getting 2 of them correct at this point. Not as I can tell. Looks like these are still bots that are answering quicker, but I'm sure the humans will rise up in a little bit here. But, you know, I mean, I'm sorry if Fast Ibex 45 is a human, but you follow the same exact nomenclature as everyone else. So who knows? Maybe someone has all their alts on here. They were mad at us for removing all their alts on the subreddit, so they've come in revenge to try and to tackle this quiz here. But you know, who knows? These are the challenges we deal with on a daily basis as moderators. And of course, if you are joining us now, you can still join in using Kahoot.it and the game pin 375-5347 in the lower left-hand corner there. Okay, next question. Question 3. A court in which country recently froze Bitcoin at an exchange related to a ransomware payment? So which country? United States, France, Australia, or the United Kingdom? All right, we're down to 4 players here. No one said the United Kingdom. It was the United Kingdom. This was actually top of the news on the subreddit. So it was, you know, a lot of people complaining about the way the funds were particularly frozen. It brought some questions in terms of fungibility, but yeah, it was the United Kingdom in Britain, right? No humans got that one correct, so the leaderboard is unchanged here. Let's go with the next question. Question 4. Do most experts believe that cryptographic soundness or implementation errors that impact supply are more likely? Are they cryptographic soundness, implementation errors, both are about equal, or neither are related to supply? Again, which one impacts supply more, or has a potential to impact supply more? Cryptographic soundness or implementation errors? One person got that one correct. So in the implementation of a cryptographic system, when you, let's say you hide the transactions amounts, or you're devising a system where there could be a flaw in the cryptography, it's generally much more likely that there's an implementation error, and that basically means it was coded incorrectly, or the cryptographic, constructions and the way that is actually implemented in the system was wrong. There's a problem with that. We have seen errors in the past with Bitcoin, Monero, Zcash, many other cryptocurrency systems. These were all implementation errors where someone messed up the code and therefore it ended up having a flaw where there were, a potential ability, whether or not it was, exploited or not, depended on the case. But there was a potential for the supply to be impacted. Now, cryptographic soundness is a property of some of these cryptographic systems that say, hey, these are properties of cryptography that say, hey, things should ideally not be changed, assuming these assumptions hold, which are usually well regarded. And so those are much less common. They generally involve a huge computational requirement rather that is time scale of the universe large compared to an implementation error, which is a human screwing up. Humans screw up all the time. So implementation errors is the right answer here. That's a long-winded way of saying that. I would say it's most accurate to say most experts are much more concerned about implementation errors. I don't think anyone. Yeah, these are all bots still, so no humans yet. But we're getting there. It looks like someone got that one correct, or at least I hope so. Again, if you have comments, you can leave them in the YouTube chat. I'll be watching that closely. Question 5. Coinbase recently hired which person as the chief product officer? Is it Surjut, or Brian Armstrong, or Ted Livingston, or Gerald Cotton? I'm going to take another attempt at that. Surjut Chatterjee. I totally botched that one. And as people guessed correctly, yes, since I had no way to pronounce it, I probably didn't quite make it up, and I apologize. That is the correct answer. I believe they came from Google, I believe. Someone in the chat can correct me if I'm wrong there. But half of you got that one correct. Brian Armstrong is, of course, the CEO of Coinbase. He did not recently join. All right, and up 12 places. Artana, aka your dad. Congratulations. Looks like the two of you got that correct. Artana, aka your dad, and Got the Ips 35. Got the Ips is at the top of the leaderboard, as they often are. Question 6. What country announced new AML rules for crypto businesses this week? Is it the United States, Canada, Singapore, or Russia? Singapore. Yep, 3 of you got that correct. Congratulations. It was not US, Canada, or Russia. I mean, they have regulations, but it's Singapore most recently announced them, or new regulations in relation to AML requirements or anti-money laundering requirements. Got the Ips top leaderboard, 3,400 points, killing it. Wrecked right behind them. And then Ryzen climbed 81 places, which means they presumably got that last one correct. So congratulations, Ryzen. Okay, let's see. Next question here. Question 7. Does BIP 340, 341, and 342, include cross-input signature aggregation? Is it yes or no? This is a Bitcoin-related one, of course. Again, I'm sorry, 340, 341, and 342. I got a little happy there with BIP 341. No, it does not. And I assume you read into this question. No is the correct answer here. So humans, at least 3 of them are on the top here, and Raisin is almost on the top, or Ryzen. Ryzen is almost at the top here. They're Ryzen to the top, highest climber. Okay, anyway, sorry. Got the Ipso, still in first place, about 1 point ahead, and Wrecked and Artana are also about a question apart. Next question is very related. You ready for this one? What is a claimed benefit of cross-input signature aggregation? Is a claimed benefit more similar transactions, faster transactions, simpler transaction construction, or taproot compatibility? We'll see how many people know this one. What's, again, the best answer here? One person got this one correct. Yes, more similar transactions. To give a little bit of background to why I asked the previous question and this question. So many people refer to these BIPs as some evidence that Bitcoin is adding additional privacy features, especially in relation to CoinJoin. So cross-input signature aggregation would allow CoinJoin transactions to look much more similar to other standard transactions. It would stand out much less. So as a result, the best answer is more similar transactions in this question. So it does not make faster transactions or simpler transaction construction, at least to the same extent. And in fact, in relation to simpler transaction construction and taproot compatibility, the reason why cross-input signature aggregation is not included in these BIPs is because it would complicate taproot addition and several other things that sort of have come to fruition in these discussions. So they are sort of trying to create compatibility with Taproot and other potential protocols that add extensions to Bitcoin, extended functionality, but they did not find out a way to include the cross-input signature aggregation feature, I'm going to call it, into this. So as a result, saying that it's a simpler transaction construction or it has Taproot compatibility are kind of at odds with what the actual outcome is here. So hopefully everyone learned something in these last two questions. I think it's pretty exciting. It's something that I don't think is common knowledge. Got the IPs. It looks like I don't think anyone in the top three leaderboard chain. No, actually, Rect got that one correct. Yeah, they closed the gap, so now they're only 40 points away, less than 40 points away. So this is really anyone's game here. Okay, next question. Question 9. The Zcash Foundation ran a poll where they decided to allocate what percent of the block reward to the Electric Coin Company, Zcash Foundation, and a grants entity. Is it 5, 5, 10%, 7, 5, 8%, 10, 5, 5%, or 9 to 4%? Okay, no one got this one correct. It was actually 7% to the Electric Coin Company, 5% to the Zcash Foundation, and 8% to the grants program. The grants program actually is the not majority, sorry, but it's the largest recipient of any of these categories. So, the grants could potentially be allocated to either the ECC or the Zcash Foundation, but that's not a given. It has to be allocated from the grants program there. But of course, the Zcash Foundation has large autonomy, at least initially, in terms of selecting the grants committee. And in fact, this poll, as I said in the title, was run by the Zcash Foundation in terms of helping collect sentiment. Okay, so this leaderboard is completely unchanged because no one got that one correct. The next question is also about Zcash, so we'll see if there's a better outcome here. And again, there's about a 5-second delay, but you all are answering pretty quickly now. Question 10, the Zcash Foundation announced a new what stack for Zcash? Is it a privacy stack, cryptography stack, database stack, or network stack? Again, this is about in the past week. We really give benefits to those who are following a lot of the news that are happening in the ecosystem. I've tried to cover a decent amount of things here. And yes, most of the people read through that one. Network stack is the best answer there. They did not go into full detail, but they helped describe what they're trying to accomplish, some of the main goals, some of their grievances with the inherited Bitcoin network stack. And so I think it's an interesting read if you are interested in networking at all. Okay, so 3 people got that one correct. We have got the IPS top. Looks like Artana and Rect both got that one correct, but Artana answered that one a little bit faster. They increased the lead to more than 40 points. So, congratulations there for answering a little bit quicker. Next question, question 11. According to Longhash and Masari, what crypto industry sector had the highest ROI versus USD over the past year? Is it lending, centralized exchanges, decentralized exchanges, or asset management? This is how Masari classifies these projects, and Longhash compiled a summary of the data. Okay, most people got this one correct. I'm proud of you. Yes, it is lending. Centralized exchanges was close behind. The two of these were by far and away, according to these two entities, the highest ROI industry sectors. Decentralized exchanges and asset management both had significant drop-offs, according to them, and likewise most other sectors had significant drop-offs according to them. So, yep, lending is the best answer here. This is partially provoked by the large growth of DeFi, the large growth of other projects that offer other lending and borrowing services. These have really exploded over the past year compared to many other aspects of the cryptocurrency industry, if you want to call it that. At least that is what Longhash called it. Okay, so we got the IPS first place. Wrecked, though, however, got that one correct. It looks like Artana did not get that one correct. And Ryzen, congratulations, you are now on the leaderboard. So it still is anyone's game based off how many questions are left. And the last two questions, so question 14 and 15, are both worth 2,000 points. So, a lot of points at stake here, going forward, left in the game. Okay, question 12. When was the last time Bakkt saw a Bitcoin option trade? Was it January 3rd, January 17th, January 25th, or January 28th? And I'm excluding today because the day was not over by the time I put this together. So theoretically, there could have been one today, and I did not know. So of the dates available, when was the last time there was a Bitcoin option trade on Bakkt? It was January 17th, so it was all the way back there. Whoever guessed the furthest back, you are correct. And by comparisons, the CME's options have really taken off by comparison. So Bakkt has really not seen many option trades, especially recently. It's struggled to really get a lot of attention despite a lot of the hype surrounding it. The CME has done has done much more volume, so they've attracted much more investment activity in terms of course, trades on the platform. That theoretically could change, but that sort of is the way it's happening in the competitive landscape at the moment for these options. Got the yips, got that one correct. So they really helped solidify their lead. And it says they're making a comeback, but I think they were always on top of the rest of the humans here. Okay, so next question. Question 13, last 1,000 pointer. Bitcoin's correlation to gold is closest to -1, 0, 1, or I like wrong losing. I don't know what I was thinking when I typed I like wrong losing. I like losing. I think I meant to type I like wrong answers, and then I changed it to I like losing, but kept the wrong there. So that's on me. Yeah, Bitcoin's correlation to gold, what is it most similar to? 0. Okay, yeah, 0 is the right answer. So most people assumed it was more correlated than no correlation, as no one guessed negative correlation. So to those who don't know, -1 correlation means as the price of Bitcoin goes up by 10%, the price of gold goes down by 10%. That would be an inverse correlation, or -1. 0 means if the price of Bitcoin goes up 10%, the price of gold is going to change by a random dice roll, right? It's completely unrelated to the price of gold. And then a 1 means that if Bitcoin goes up Bitcoin goes up 10%, gold also goes up 10%. It is actually closest to 0. It's actually very close to 0. So it's not like it was 0.4 and I rounded down. No, it really is closer to like 0.1. So that's, despite all the discussions comparing Bitcoin and gold, they really are not that correlated, and at least they haven't been recently. So the leaderboard is unchanged as a result. So going into the last two questions, both of which are worth 2,000 points each, got the IPS 35, 7,135 points, wrecked 4789, Artana 4,002, and Ryzen 2583. So the next question is a fill in the blank. So you will need to use your phone to type out the appropriate answer. And then the very last question is a matching, where on left you have the lowest with a negative number, and on the right you have the highest with a positive number. So just helping you prepare. But of course, next question is a fill in the blank. So get ready here. Open-ended. We had one of these last week. What is the name of the leading nonprofit focused on the policy issues facing cryptocurrencies? And you need to type in your answer here. I made it so that there are several correct answers. I think I covered at least all of the answers that I could reasonably expect someone to type in. So if it wasn't the case, I would have specified. But I think I was fair in terms of adding options if people, capitalized letters or potentially added spaces or potentially added slashes or whatever it is. I think I added a reasonable selection of right answers here. Only about 15 seconds left. Of course, 5 fewer seconds if you're watching now. Type in your answer and make sure you hit submit to get it through. We only have 2 people that have answered so far. Maybe the other 2 are Googling. Okay, only 2 people got it in time. The correct answer is Coin Center. So it says no one got those correct. I had options. So did anyone submit anything? The 2 people who did submit, can you comment if you did say Coin Center? Because it says no one got these correct. So I don't know. I hope that everyone was able to submit or put the right answer there, but it's hard for me to tell. So let me know if you got that one correct. But yes, in my opinion, Coin Center is the correct answer here. I think it's a reasonably good choice here. They are an advocacy group, essentially like a lobby group that focuses on the policy issues facing cryptocurrencies, both in with the United States focus, and of course a per state focus, but also I guess I should have specified the U.S. in the answer, but they do have, in a way, a national focus too. So Coin Center is something that you should be aware of. They have some really great publications if you are interested in cryptocurrency policies. So this is apparently unchanged. So going into the last question here, which again is matching. And so to prepare, on the left you have a negative number, and on the right you have a positive number. So low number on the left, high number on the right. And I guess I can spill the beans. This is another correlation question. So if it's negative, it means there's a strong negative correlation. And if it's positive, it means they have a strong positive correlation if you think that any of these are positive or negatively correlated. It's a puzzle. Make sure you submit your answers. I've heard some people say that they did not submit them. So left negative to right positive, and there may or may not be negative or positive answers. Which assets are correlated with Bitcoin, closely or not closely, according to 360 days on Coinmetrics data. So again, on the left, you want the either least correlated or the most negatively correlated, and on the right, you want the most correlated or most positively correlated, or the closest to zero. I know it's a little difficult to explain, but just think about the correlations. Highest or closest to -1 on the left, closest to +1 on the right. Maybe that's the easiest way to explain it. I don't think anyone got this one correct. So the right answer is Make or Die, which is very close to zero because Bitcoin's not very correlated with the dollar. And then Dogecoin, and then Bitcoin Cash, and then Ethereum. So out of the choices, Ethereum was the most correlated with Bitcoin. Hopefully this wasn't super out of reach for most people. But here's the podium. Third place with 5 out of 15, Artana. With 6 out of 15, Rekt. And then first place with 8 out of 15, got the ETH35. So it seems like this is a pretty difficult quiz this week. I'll keep that in mind in future quizzes. Leave a comment, and of course, please submit questions. I'm just going to link it in the chat right now for you to be able to submit questions, because it is super important for people to be submitting questions. So it's not just me coming up with these. I have my biases, I have my own selection bias, etc. So we really need people to come up with other questions. And of course, the benefit for you is that you are able to have a little bit of an advantage going into this. So I really appreciate your assistance here. It does take a lot of time to come up with 15 questions, which I hope are good every week, right? Okay, I guess that's it for this week. Thanks for those who played. I will be going through tonight every single previous quiz that I've done, and then I will be crediting with special flares on the cryptocurrency subreddit. It is about time I did that. So those who have participated often, thank you so much for participating. It means a lot to me, and I hope it means a lot to other players too. I will catch you next week. Take care.